having a standardization that they don't have to figure out, oh, this is this package, but let me add this, let me add that, let me add that. Our technicians are all on the same page, our administrators are all on the same page, so it's really just an easy flow of billing, monitor, maintaining, servicing our clients.
Welcome to Now That's It, Stories of MSP Success, where we dive into the journeys of some of the trailblazers in our industry to find out how they used their passion for technology to help turn managed services into the thriving sector it is today.
I like to always do an introduction with folks, and I've known this guy for quite some time. He's the CTO and man in charge of managed services at Preferred Business Systems, or PBS, in Whippany, New Jersey. He's definitely a Jersey guy. He's been involved in IT for over 25 years as a technician, a leader, and business owner. And he's one of the biggest New York Yankees and New York Giants fans that you'll ever meet. Please welcome Mr. Ori Segall.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about
I heard some boos because of the Giants.
Sorry about
and
your
Yankees
this year, Ori.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
All right, so Ori, thanks for being here with us in Austin for the past 2 days. I know I've heard a lot of the partners that have had conversations with you, and they've really enjoyed. But why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, and just, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I've been, that's when I started my first company.
Yes.
That's what I looked like when I started in IT, right? So I was born and raised in Jersey. I've lived outside of the country, went to high school in Israel, came back. I've been in IT since a long time, about 25 years. I had a mentor when I had first started when I was 19 years old. Taught me a lot of things, got me really into technology. And then luckily I had a great pathway from there. And I was a junior system administrator when I was basically 20 years old. And September 11th happened, unfortunately, hit hard at home, and I had lost my job, and then just traveled the country. Came back and started from scratch, started on a call center, went from the call center to help desk to field tech to managing 2 downtown offices for Corcoran Group. And then when I was working there, I was like, this is crazy, I should be doing this myself. Started my own company called Super Tech Boys, Jersey style, and then I had to have it with a Z, So had a good time. Basically a one-man show. I had a couple of consultants that had worked for me here and there. 2008, depression came, hit hard. Lost 2 of my largest clients, basically bringing in about like $7,000 in revenue a month for myself. It was like, I need to find some foundations and some security. And that's when I had met the owners of Preferred Business Systems, which is I'll use CPM a lot. It's copier, print, mail. They are a copier company. They were a copier company, and this was back in 2009. Awesome. Started the IT side with them.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about PBS and maybe the journey that you guys have gone through over the last several years?
2009, started IT services for CPM. We were doing installs, break fix, helped them develop a strategy. Then 2011, around there, we decided to become an MSP. Started working with the famous Stephanie Hammond over there, the best account manager anyone could have possibly had. Helped us grow our business tremendously. Our partnership with Enable at that point. And then so 2011, started doing MSP services. I had a boss that we had some conflicts and didn't get along. In 2015, 16, I took over the IT side. We were about $380,000 in business on MSP, and skyrocketed from there. I had a different vision for the company on how we grow and how we push forward, and so built a team of what we called the Core Four, which was 3 other guys that worked for me, and just went from $380,000 in business to about $1 million in a year and a half, and from 2017-18 to now, we've grown probably about 20-30% year over year. Just awesome. Great foundation.
That's great, Ori. So we talked a little bit yesterday with Jimmy about the service model. Standardization was pretty big in your evolution as well, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah, from the beginning. We were always we never a la carted anything the whole time that we had created our business. We did take on every single customer, right? Like, didn't matter what they were, but we were only providing a specific type of service, and didn't ask them what they wanted. We were always a tell not sell, but we weren't aggressive about it until about 2 years ago.
That's great. And then how early did you guys realize that having an advanced security offering was really a game changer in an untapped market?
Yeah, so we started building out what we call our Cyber Riot security package about 3 years ago, give or take. It really got very strong in the last year and a half. But 3 years ago, we knew that was an area that we had to start developing in. So I'm really big on mentoring and guiding people in the right direction, pulling people from different areas of our company to do that. So I had promoted one of our guys, Ruben, to build out the cybersecurity side with me right by his side, and we built out a pretty strong stack to provide to our clients.
So you didn't necessarily have security people. Obviously, security is a part of every IT technician's sort of skill set in some level. But how creative did you have to get to sort of build that team out?
Oh yeah, pretty creative. I mean, this is call him a kid. He's 30 now, but it was a guy who came to us right out of college, worked the help desk, went to school for cybersecurity, but it was 8 years ago. Things have changed tremendously. But I'm a Jersey guy. I use my resources to a very high level. I expect, I'm providing a service. I expect my partners to provide me a service, so I reach out to them, right? And so I use the channel, the community. I'm very big on just picking up the phone and calling people and making sure that I have the right support. And, Enable's always given it to us. There's other partners that we're very close with that have helped us grow that department as well. Putting the right, vetting your partners is extremely important. And then once you vet them, use them. I mean, you're paying them money, right? Your clients are paying you money. You bend over backwards for them. So they should be doing the same for you to make your growth is their growth, right? We all work together, and so that's helped tremendously.
I think that partnership piece is really key. Like, you obviously do business with tons and tons of different vendors, and so even to look at your vendors and even classify them. Like, these are our strategic vendors. Yeah. These are the ones that we're going to work together when we're bringing a new offering to the table and see how they can support us on that. That was pretty key to our evolution, and yeah. Sounds like the same to yours.
Big time. We do not work with anyone who does not provide us a direct account manager. That's if there's no one that I can pick up the phone and call for any situation, we're not working with you. And they all know that, and I don't care if you were my salesperson, I'm still calling you if I need to, and all that kind of stuff. It's extremely important to have that partnership and relationship together.
We talked a little bit yesterday during my session about user-based pricing, and you shared it a little bit yesterday, that you made a switch. You made a transition to that user-based pricing model a while back. Why did you decide to do that, Ori?
It's the way of the world. Everyone, even your personal life, you buy Netflix, it's user-based subscription model, Office 365 subscription model, Adobe subscription model, everything is user-based. So for us, it was easy for billing. Standardization, everyone being on the same page. Our salespeople, as we were trying to bring on salespeople and continue to try to bring on salespeople, it's probably one of the hardest things to do as an MSP, but having a standardization that they don't have to figure out, oh, this is this package, but let me add this, let me add that, let me add that. Our technicians are all on the same page, our administrators are all on the same page, so it's really just an easy flow of billing, monitor, maintaining, servicing our clients, and we don't get kickback from any one of our clients, and they all love it because the bill is 18 users, 25 users, right? So it's real simple for them to read. Our motto is making it simple, making IT simple. So try our best on every level of that to make sure that our clients are getting a simple solution.
That's awesome. You've always been one to obviously share and open up with other MSPs and help them. I mean, you say that over and over and over again. I'm here to help. You signed up immediately, raised your hand, and said, "I'd love to come to Austin and share." So, can you share with the group? Really, you've evolved your service offering a number of different ways, times over the last couple of years. You talk about standardization. You talk about obviously the user-based pricing. Just what other blanket advice would you give to those that are maybe thinking about putting their service offering through some change?
Yeah, just value yourself. It's a huge one. Be completely transparent with yourself. Know where you need help. Ask for the help. At events like this, every single one of us have issues. We're not perfect whatsoever. Use everyone in this community together. Just be transparent. I use a tagline a lot on my LinkedIn posts, like MSPs help MSPs. No one's a competitor in this room, even if you're the guy right down the block. There's enough businesses in this country for all of us to succeed. But do not undervalue yourself, because then you're undervaluing me as a company and yourself. And we do something for companies that they cannot get in other places. So we charge $225 a user. Some of you may roll your eyes or may say that's high. It's not high whatsoever. Right? And each one of you can charge $225 a user. You just got to make sure you're providing the stack, the services behind it. You're giving them something that they can't get other places, right? And your team is working tremendously hard, and they don't want to do help desk tickets all day. Bring in that automation that we spoke about. Just value who you are as a company and provide those services.
Yeah, I think you hit on something pretty important too. The vulnerability, being vulnerable is really, really important, and especially in situations like this. The peer groups, we see it firsthand, because you're helping each other really grow your business. And so to answer some of the questions, this is where we are. Like, you are not lying in a peer group, or if you think you are, you're calling BS. And I think it's pretty neat to come to situations like this. And I mean, Ori just mentioned it there. I've heard Jimmy talk about it. I know the others, Matt and others will talk about it as well. Like, no one's perfect here, and I'm a good example too. Like, we made tons and tons of mistakes. Yep. And so when you get folks like us in a room and you want to share, like, hey, this is what really worked for us. Ask us what didn't work for you, and we'll happily share that so you don't make those same mistakes.
Definitely.
Yeah, pretty key. All right, let's change to growth a little bit, Ori. Where does PBS get the majority of its leads from?
It was definitely basically referral-based business for a long, long time, and still is. It's a tremendous amount of our business is referral-based. It's built on the customer relation and customer service that we provide. We have brought in salespeople. Some have come, some have gone. We're rebuilding that. We have now are building out client success, which is going to bring in a ton of revenue and that engagement.
So you've had salespeople, or you have salespeople, but how much are you involved in the sales process?
A tremendous amount. I help close. They call me, my nickname's number 42. Yankee fans would understand that. So that's Mariano Rivera's number, closer. And so it was a tremendous amount. I do a lot in the company. I'm now separating out a lot of my duties. Jimmy makes fun of me about the amount of emails I get every day. It was a lot. A lot of the deals was me closing, but now I'm training someone to take that responsibility away.
That's great. Can you talk about the importance I started my session out around, determining your ideal customer profile, who that target customer is. How important is that for folks?
Extremely important. Now that comes in time, obviously. That didn't happen overnight. But we target companies that understand the value in the technology. That is our target customer profile. 20, 25 users up at this point. But they need to understand their value in technology. That's basically our target.
Yeah. I think the other one you had told me too is, and Jimmy says this, and I've heard others, it's you can say no. Right?
Oh yeah, you have to say no.
Yeah.
It's very hard when you're growing the business, and a lot of you all are 1, 2, 4, 6 people shops, 8 people shops. It's definitely not easy, but I'm going to tell you that in the long run, it will make it easier for you. We're at a point where we have to fire a ton of customers. We have a ton of customers that are killing our technicians and the morale, and we're huge on culture. And so that, if I would have said no years ago, I think we'd be in a way better place at this point. We're in an amazing place. But now we have to go through something that no one ever wants to do, is fire people that you've known for so long. And Jimmy spoke about it. It's not an easy thing to do. But you could say no at any time, and you should say no, and definitely provide one package.
You guys have not a unique business model, but you have a business model that some others in the room have, where you've got another side of the business that is large, very large, and that's how the company was started. And so, can you talk a little bit about how the copier business sort of feeds the MSP business, and maybe vice versa? How do you play off of each of that?
Yeah, so I would say that the MSP side feeds the copier side of the business. I mean, the copier side of the business was the revenue and the money that helped create the MSP side of the business. But we're trusted advisors on the IT side. People trust us, and they will buy anything from you once you're in there and you treat them the way they should be treated. So we've converted probably about 90% of our IT clients into copier clients. On the copier side, it's way more difficult, and that's where we went through a complete rebranding about 4 years ago to change the look of our company as not a copier company and an IT company, but as a full technology solution provider. Because I was speaking to Steve over there. He used to own a copier company and run a copier company, and you're looked at completely like, I mean, all of you probably know what your copier guy is, and it's like, this guy. So we've changed that, and we've now started converting some of our copier clients into IT clients. But with that target customer profile, it's helped us, really just go after the specific type of copier clients that we want, and those are the larger ones that we have, and that's helped out.
Can you talk a little bit about, obviously, and I get to know Rich, your CEO, through the peer groups, and Rich is really the copier guy, though, right?
Oh,
and so, can you talk a little bit about that transition for Rich to be more of a?
Yeah. So everyone that knows me, Stephanie, Chris, they always thought I was the owner of PBS because Rich knew nothing about IT. He's a copier sales guy to heart, and an incredible person and really smart business owner, but didn't know anything on the IT side. And for years, I've been trying to get him to go to Empower and all these other events. And finally, he came to an event with me. And Rich just takes in information, and he's like, and this is amazing. And now he's coming to these peer groups, and he's learning so much, and now he understands all these abbreviations, and he knows what an MSP is now. It's like, it's absolutely, it's incredible. For even myself, listen, like there's verbiage that I've learned from Wilkie that I didn't care about before. Like, I didn't think it meant anything or I needed to know it, but the operational efficiency thing that you guys did a couple of years ago, business transformation one, learning what we should be looking at for metrics and KPIs and benchmarks. We're doing $4 million in business. Until about a year ago, we were 3.2. I wasn't looking at KPIs. I wasn't looking at, I knew we were profitable. We were making money, but I couldn't tell you the exact percentage today. I could tell you we're at 18% this year. I could tell you, a whole bunch of stats that a year ago I would never have been able to sit there and tell you.
Awesome. We'll talk more about peer groups in a minute, but let's talk about something that is pretty passionate to you, and that's culture. So culture, I think you shared that's something that really changed your business, and it would actually help you catapult the growth of your business. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. We had a horrible culture about 5-6 years ago. We had 2 owners, went through a pretty bad divorce, and we changed the way our business was and brought in, removed people of drama and didn't want to bring it into our shop. And culture is extremely strong in our office, and it has built our business over the last 3 years. Our revenue has grown because of it. People are happy to come to work. Our guys are doing unofficial happy hours. We take them out. We do events. Our kickoff meeting this year, we closed down the largest go-kart place in New Jersey for 2 hours just for them to go go-karting. It has changed the daily life of an IT shop. Like, these guys are having fun. You'd never know. If you walked into our company, you'd never know that we are an MSP. And we take a huge pride on it. It's extremely important. I don't know if you're going to show a picture, but
yeah.
So that's on our wall. We live by it every day. That's in our kitchen. It means a ton to us. It's all of us in our office. We live together. We want to laugh every day. If you're not laughing, life sucks. And then we want to grow together. And that's not only as a business, but that's your personal as well. Like, we want everybody to succeed. If it's with us or with themselves, they need to grow, right? And when you put that out there and you're helping every single person in your company, there is no way your company cannot succeed. So it's what we live by now.
Culture's, and I can tell you that from experience as well. It's one of those things that when it's really good, like you said, it can really catapult the growth, but it can also catapult the retention, right? Yeah. I mean, you're paying, you're training employees, and then they see a 30% jump somewhere else, but the grass isn't always greener on the other side. If you've built that trust and that family, it's pretty powerful, and you can do that for a long time. I mean, we got to 300, and I will definitely say the culture was not like it was when we were 70, right? Yep. But still, to go from 10 to 70 and still have that, we've got beers in the office and a kegerator and ping pong and puzzles. Now, I would always go in as a service delivery manager and go, we have time to build puzzles? Like, go close tickets, right? So there's a balance, but to feel like this is a family is pretty powerful.
I mean, our guys, 4 p.m., they've got a timer on the TV. It starts at 8 a.m. or 7 when the first guy comes in. 4 p.m., it flashes, crack them open. They're allowed to have beers after 4. I mean, we've got foosball. We're very lenient, but at the same time, they work extremely hard, so they've got to enjoy themselves. And if you can't enjoy your life, then you shouldn't be working where you're working. And it's life-work balance extremely important. We give 17 PTO days right off the start. We bonus out every single employee. Not one employee made under $3,000 bonus in our company last year. 48 employees. We take 6% out of every single sale that we do. So every dollar of revenue that comes in, we take 6% now and we put it in a bucket. And at the end of the year, we portion it out to our employees. These are small things. They're big, they're definitely big, but they're small things that you would never believe what they do. Our retention, we do not lose employees. It's because of the work-life balance and the style of life we do, and we don't not pay well, but it's hard in our market. Like, we're in the Jersey market. It's not an easy market to be able to stabilize like that, but that is key.
Awesome. So you've obviously worked really, really hard to build this, to change this culture. How do you continue to keep it going as the MSP evolves, as you bring new employees on?
Yeah, we hire on personality way more than technical skills. We do we review certain people. So every person that applies to our job, we send them actually personality questions to see what they return before we bring them in for an interview. And then they sit with a couple key people. We're changing some things that we've learned from the peer group as well. I mean, we're having people take them to lunch that aren't managers before they start. Because we don't want to bring in a sour apple into our environment. So we know the type of people we look for, and that's really it. It's the personality. Obviously, they need technical skills, but listen, I'm a college dropout. I learned from reading, doing business, right? And I'm running a $4 million. The company's $11 million, but I'm running the $4 million side of it, and that is just from passion, pushing, reading, peer groups, these groups, your community. That's how you grow.
That's awesome. How do you handle employees that either they don't align to the culture that you've built, or they don't agree with it?
We did say I'm from Jersey, right? So we do a lot of waste management companies. Should we end there? Listen, I'm a very outspoken person. I don't do drama. I was telling some of the guys, like, we had two administrative employees that had worked on my team. That one of them still does, one of them doesn't. But at that time, they had some drama, and I just don't do drama, and I don't do bullshit beep. And so
This is really hard for
yeah,
Ori to
by
sit
the way,
up here.
it's
He has not
incredibly-
dropped one F-bomb, so let's
yeah, it's incredibly hard.
Yeah.
So I was telling a couple of guys last night, it's a right to work workplace. I brought them into a room and I said, let's, each one individually, and I talked to the first one. And I was like, not that big of a deal. I don't know why you guys are like this. Brought the other one in, same thing. Then I brought both of them into the room and I said, listen, enough of this beep, beep, beep. You're both adults. We work together. Figure this out. No drama. If you guys can't figure it out, the door's right there. And I was like, hopefully you guys use that door, not that door. And I left. I was like, you guys got to stay here 15 minutes. I don't care if you don't talk, but you're staying in here for 15 minutes and figuring it out. And then they were good. That was it. That's how we take care of it. No. Yeah. It's again, culture and leadership, mentoring. I can't live in a world where we have to babysit, right? And be politically correct all the time and this and that. I am extremely passionate, nice, helpful person, and truly believe that everybody can succeed, and I will guide you and help you get there. But I'm not going to sit around and wait for you to be a little whatever. And then so we're very strong on do your work, be passionate. We have things up all over the walls, and urgency and our core values are extremely important. Be accountable for your actions, customer first, gratitude, integrity, honesty. So these we follow those things, and
awesome. You brought up the personality assessments. I just wanted to ask the audience here, the group, are any of you guys doing any sort of personality assessments, DISC assessments, things like that? We've got Matt, a couple folks. Awesome, that's expected. We'll have an email that goes out. Rob will tell you a little bit. I'll throw a couple of those in there that are pretty popular. Pretty interesting thing to look at. Dave always talks about it. He had taken one, and then I forget which one it was, but he sent it over to his wife, and his wife, that is you, exactly. It was like 2 questions, and he went through and answered, and it was like, she said, that is you.
Yeah, I don't want my wife to know about
yeah.
mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had a long conversation about the zones of genius, which we'll get to a little bit, and he was spot on.
Yeah, spot on.
Awesome. All right, so last section here, you've already hit on it, and we don't want to feel like we're beating a dead horse here, but just want to talk about the value of peer groups, Ori, and what motivated PBS to join sort of that first peer group, and what specific goals did you guys have going into it?
Yeah, so first, it's priceless, truly priceless. If you're not doing it, do it. Get into something. So that's number one. Number two is, like I said, no one's perfect, right? And we're building this business, and we became an EOS shop, and we're doing great in business, right? But no true direction and processes and procedures in place and all that kind of stuff. So we built upon that, the EOS strategy, and I was looking personally to get a better understanding of service and metrics and KPIs, and knew that we were at a point where we need to understand that. Should have been years ago, right? I mean, it should have been. I'm going to tell you right now that if I was in a peer group when I was at $1 million, $1.5 million, I'd probably be at about 7 to 8 right now, easily, not even a question, because I would have the understanding of the metrics and how to really target these KPIs, and have my whole service team on it and everybody in the company. Right? We're a very transparent company. Everyone knows exactly how much we make and our KPIs and stuff, but we weren't able to put that up. KPIs and stuff weren't up on the board until I joined this peer group and learned things from Jimmy and these other guys that are in the peer group with me. The relationship, you guys see me and Jimmy laughing and having a great time. We've only known each other a year. We're like brothers, but only a year, and so that relationship that's built off of that, it's amazing. Amazing. We call each other, spin off ideas. It's priceless.
I think what's even more impressive is I think the first session you guys got in pre-peer group, You guys, and Jimmy talked a little bit about it yesterday, like he created a Slack channel or a Teams channel, and Russ is in it, and Benji's in it, and all these guys, none of them knew each other, and now they're all telling each other, hey, did you hear about the new business transformation session? You ought to come down here. Like, it's just, hey, I've got this new tool. What do you guys think about that? And
yeah, Russ and I just argue if it's a pork roll or a Taylor ham, but people from Jersey understand that battle. Or if we should charge for PC setups or not. But yeah, no, the relationships that you build from these, like, use them. Like, you are meeting so many people in this room, and every single person in here has some type of an issue, and that person next to you probably has the answer or at least a direction. So just keep your ears open, your eyes open, and just keep that relationship. I've spoken to a few of you. Feel free to reach out. I've got no problem answering and helping out anybody in this room of challenges, and it's extremely important. To grow this community is important, to make an alliance, to have a true standardization of security products, and it's very, do not undervalue who you are. It hurts every single person next to you.
The one, I just wanted to ask you about this one to share with the group. The other cool thing about peer groups that I've seen specifically with that in-person peer group, your ability to sort of stay up to date with industry trends and technology. You brought something to the group when you got together in Miami, and I think it opened up others' eyes. And you want to share with the group, like, how you guys do things like that, and maybe what you were talking about?
Yeah, we were talking about automation, and I have a very close relationship with the people at Roost, and we were talking about automation. Jimmy does Power Automate, and I was looking, he's got in-house developers, we don't, and so we brought in Roost and Pia, which are two RPAs that are out there, and had them talk to the group, and then we had a full discussion on it. We were using Roost and went with Roost, and it's helped everybody understand, that, like Jimmy said earlier, if you're not doing automation, and it's extremely hard at your size, but you got to bring in at least the cookbook and do some scripting through Enable. But if you have the availability to put a technician on full-time in automation, definitely go with a product, whichever one you want. We're really big on Roost because of all the integration we do, but you have to standardize. If you're not standardizing, automation's not going to work for you. And so having that discussion in that peer group, right, and everybody bouncing ideas, now there's a lot of us are doing automation, a lot of us are using AI. The Jimmy started with the ChatGPT, is reading all of our tickets, it's changing our summary, it's putting in the internal notes the top 3 ways to fix the issue based upon what's in there. We can now research tickets. Before it was like you're depending on a technician to change the summary. Come on, we all know that's not going to happen every time. So, and then you're depending on your clients. Like the need help one is the best. Like need help, and then there's nothing. But those discussions in peer groups and with the people, it's again priceless. I don't know what else to say other than.
Can you share? You talk about being vulnerable. Can you just share with the group? Over the past number of years since you joined, you've obviously helped catapult the growth. You've done some amazing things. But can you share with the group any things that maybe you didn't do so well, or mistakes that you had made, things that might help the team?
Yeah. I get hundreds of emails a day. It's because I didn't delegate early on enough. I didn't drop part of the vine or whatever that term is, and put a service manager in place earlier. I had my core 4 guys, but we're all like taking tickets and doing this, and I was still taking tickets. I do not take tickets anymore, which is awesome. But yeah, delegation, opening yourself up, letting everybody in the company. I also, our company was very CPM focused, and so I had to get the mindset and the transition changed off of that. So it was a lot on myself. But I had to trust that these other people could step up and from the copier side. And like I said, people looked at copier people as copier people. I did also, so I didn't let go of certain abilities onto the other side of the business. So we did everything internally in IT. And then when we hit 2 million and I was about to explode, and was still doing everything is when, that separation started, and then 3 million, and then now it's every day still separating out my duties. But yeah, but learning from the other guys on how they did it is how you get it done.
What questions do we have for Ori?
None, thank you. Yeah, we do a hybrid schedule. We have 1 day of work from home. A couple guys have 2, depending on who they are and if I like them. But they all come in. Even on their work from home days, a lot of our guys come in. It's like I said, our culture is so weird. But yeah, we give the ability of work from home.
And I'm a quick learner, so I've delegated another mic runner, so just FYI.
Awesome.
I have a question about your 225 that's not too far off where we are. What is, obviously all labor is included. What external costs, what vendor costs? Office 365, firewall updates, subscriptions?
Yeah, so licensing for firewalls and all that stuff is definitely not included. Labor is included in regards to your day-to-day. We charge for PC setups, projects, all that other kind of stuff. What's included in there is an Office 365 Business Premium license with a $20 credit, because we actually automate all of our billing. We charge per user, so it's charged per an assigned license above a business standard license. And so we have it fully automated that it looks in our Office 365, it says there's 20 licenses above this license type, and then it puts it on the bill. And then we're billing for the Office 365 line item, but it's included. We've got a full security stack, so Proofpoint, Iron Scales, Auto Elevate on every single machine, Threat Locker on every server, all included. Cove, Office 365 included, Huntress EDR, Huntress MDR. I'll give you the full stack. So it's everything.
Minus the ProServe.
Minus the pro services, yeah.
Yeah.
So minus the
Yeah.
PC setups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, I have 2 questions. This one got asked a lot yesterday after Jimmy's, but since you both do per user pricing,
I don't answer Benji, so I gotta go.
how do you guys account for the backup cost, right? You guys such a variable difference between one company and the next and backup size. So how do you guys deal with that?
Just don't deal with it, man. We're going Azure and cloud and really moving a lot of things to Windows 365 and desktop and VDIs and stuff like that. You go to a company, they've got 1 server, another one has 4. Your pricing per user, if a company's got 4 servers, like 1 physical and 3 virtuals, right, they probably have a certain amount of users. So we've averaged it out and understand what our true average is per user. The 225 covers, and you'd be at probably about, I think right now we're at about, we're 18% net profit and 57% on the labor loaded. So, it works out. You take your numbers and you break it out, you'll see what your average is across the board.
Cool. All right, this one I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah.
When you mentioned when you're at that 2 million mark and you're going crazy, if you could go back and do it again or recommend to someone else, what is the thing that would have had the biggest impact to make it less stressful for you, the thing you should have done?
A true service manager, bringing in a true service, joining a peer group, and
checks in the mail.
Assigning a service manager, honestly. That was, you can't do everything. So you're doing service, you're doing sales, it's impossible. You're looking at financials. I'm really big on the financials. So I was doing it just too much. So if I was able to, I would have done that way earlier than when I did it.
So what size customer do you typically look at? You mentioned you have a customer with a physical server and 3 virtuals. The people we deal with tend to have 70, 80 virtual machines. So 225, how do you adjust for somebody who has that size of?
So I don't care how many machines they have.
Okay.
It's how many employees they have, how many FTEs, how many full-time employees. We do adjust based, like we'll drop down. We just signed up 110 user a few weeks ago, so they're at 175 a user. But typically, we're trying not to move away. It should be 225 a user. It shouldn't change.
You don't care if they have 100 VMs, servers.
So I don't know why any customer would have 100 VMs at 100 users. So that would not make sense to me. So it would be a different build out. Huh?
Their internal applications.
Still sounds way crazy to me.
Okay.
I would change it. I would go in there and change their environment, honestly, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
I'd rip and replace at that level.
I'm just curious because I mean I'm definitely intrigued by the per user pricing, but we have a lot of customers with SCADA systems.
So how many users are they, though?
Some of them are 50, 60 users, but
And 70 virtual servers. Yeah, something's not right there.
okay.
That's all I can say.
Every app gets a server.
I mean, what's that?
Every app gets a server.
Yeah, every app. I mean, that's crazy. I don't know the environment, and I don't know if anyone else has environments like that, but that, to me, just seems out of this world. So we don't run into that, so I can't answer the question because I've never been in that.
Well, that was kind of my reason for the question, is because, in our business, we run into a lot of outliers. Some of them have SCADA systems. We're focused right now in the energy environment. So
Gotcha.
there are control systems and things of that nature which dictate having separate machines, DMZs and different VLANs and jump boxes and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I would say that, we have gone after our last 5 clients that we've onboarded in the last 3-4 months are all 50, 60 users and up. The last 2 have been 100 and 110. Both those clients are 4 servers. I mean, it's like they've got an app server, file server, DC. I mean, it's and we've moved them all to Azure anyway, and we do it. But that to me, I can't. Maybe Jimmy maybe can answer for you after this, but I don't know. I've never seen it. He's shaking his head like he's never seen it. So. Yeah. There you go. That should have been my answer.
Yeah,
They wouldn't be a client of mine. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of searching for is what is the real algorithm that comes up with the 250, 275 numbers?
Yeah, I mean, listen, our standard customers, our target profile customers is they're not having those type of server and environments, so it's 225 a user and we move on. But yeah, like Jimmy said, if they got 70 servers and 50 users, and you really like them and their culture's there and they meet your values, charge them 500, 1,000 a user. I don't know. I couldn't.
So there's no magic to the algorithm then, is what you're saying.
Not at that type of scenario or situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I've wrestled with it a lot.
Yeah. It's the way to go. That's all I'm telling you is definitely the way to go. All your competitors are doing it or starting to do it. So, the standardization. And like Jimmy said, if you are not automating in the next 3 to 5 years, you will not be in business at all. It's a true fact. It's the same as years ago when they were saying if you're not doing cybersecurity by now, that you probably aren't going to be in business. By the end of this year, if you're not doing cybersecurity, you're not in business. So it's the same thing with automation.
Ori, thank you very much for being with us today and sharing with us.
I know it's the lights are on and the customer might be on.